Hi everyone, welcome to Jie Podcast. Today we have collected a bunch of fun wedding stories. So it's confessions and also just like some horror stories. So today we thought it would be fun to share. So we haven't heard each other's stories as usual, so let's start.
Okay. So this person posted, I used to work as an assistant wedding planner in college. I once worked a wedding where the two families haven't met prior to that day. Turns out the moms got off on the wrong foot and hated each other. The groom's mom was supposed to cut the cake but knocked out long before that. And the groom also got so drunk that the bride had to hold him up during the first dance. Needless to say, there was no wedding night fun for them.
I don't even know how to react.
Is it common? I think it's common, right? They both, like, sometimes the two families don't like each other. But I always thought they can get it together at least for the wedding day.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what could have possibly gone wrong that they hated each other. And I thought people.
And they just met.
Yeah, I don't know.
Usually hate is like over a period of time. small things happen. Like the first time they met, they just hated each other. Like, I need to know what happened.
Yeah, this story doesn't have enough context. I need to know what each one said, and then I need to take a side. Like too little context. Okay, the next one. The title is Boyfriend's Mom Won't Attend Wedding If It's Not Christian. I'm still affected by what my boyfriend's mom told him a month ago. She blew up over a tiny matter and told him that she won't attend his wedding if it's not a Christian wedding. The argument wasn't even about religion. She just suddenly brought it up. My family is Buddhist and my boyfriend is Christian, but he doesn't go to church often. His mom is a crazily devoted Christian who says that whatever she does is in line with what Jesus wants her to do or something along those lines. She tries to pull me along to church sometimes and I go occasionally just to keep her happy. It's just a wedding. I don't get why she wants a Christian wedding so badly. Among the wedding guests, she's probably the only Christian who is that devoted.
I need to know the boyfriend's stand on this.
Yeah, I mean, don't you feel like when people force other people to do such things, like force you to have a church wedding or force you to go to church, you just end up resenting it more? Isn't that like counterintuitive? Like, I just don't understand.
But the fact that she didn't say no to the relationship.
Okay, we're setting the bar very low here, but sure, okay.
No, I mean, like, if the church wedding matters so much to her, right? I thought she would be the type that will, like...
That's true.
Not want her to be the daughter-in-law because she's not Christian.
That's true.
So I'm puzzled.
Okay, next one.
Okay. My worst appointment ever as a bridal stylist was 3 or 4 years ago. My beautiful bride brought her mother and her aunt, and they'd clearly been to a few salons unsuccessfully, partly because the bride had her eye on a dress at our store and couldn't decide until she tried it on. I quickly found out that the other reason they had such an awful time shopping was because the mother of bride and aunt of bride were incredibly cruel people. Apparently, the bride had recently gained some weight and her bust size had increased considerably, but she was still by no means a plus-size bride. Mother of bride and aunt of bride said just the meanest things to this poor beautiful girl, including that dress might look good when you get back to your normal weight. Your fat boobs are spilling out of that dress. Ew, etc. It was terrible and the bride was in tears with me in the dressing room. I had enough and started to stick up for her, which just made the two women turn on me. Do you watch Say Yes to the Dress?
Yeah, I used to watch clips of that show. Not just trying wedding dress, but when I read this, I feel like, I don't know, it feels so common and I mean it's sad that it's so common because like in the recent few years, right, I've always been relatively on the skinnier side last time. So in the recent few years, it's either like too much bubble tea or I don't know, like I don't know, maybe turn 21 already, then metabolism slow. I don't know what the fuck is it, right? But like I definitely got fatter, but like I hate it every time when we go for like I go and meet people that think that they know me enough that they can comment things like, oh, you look like you gained weight, or you look fatter. Like, do you think you got fatter? Like, I hate it, and it made me so. Even this not even trying wedding dress, but just all these comments make me very hesitant to even go, to even visit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't understand why we would even say such things to someone who's getting married. It's a very stressful time already, and it's supposed to be like the happiest time of your life. Okay, so why are you there trying to be like so critical? You know, it's supposed to be fun. If something doesn't fit, just get a bigger size. If not, get a different cut. You know, there's so many other ways for you to like. There's so many other ways.
No, the thing is like the person said that she was still by no means a plus size bride. So maybe she gained weight, but she's not fat. You know, like I watched quite a few episodes of like just Say Yes to the Dress, right? And then like there are a few episodes got have this kind of thing. Like either the friend is nasty or the mom is nasty. You know, like a lot of people in the comment section, right, will say that it's because they are jealous.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that
they
may
say
be true.
out of jealousy.
They can't stand to see the person happy.
Yeah. No, the thing is like they went to a few salons together. I feel like you do this to me after the first one, I won't invite you anymore. Like won't you do the same thing?
That's true. After the first one, yeah. I know people with their relationship with parents and relatives always very complicated. One, you know, it's not as easy to chop off as friends. Friends, they say they start becoming mean, you just very easily just chop them off, you know. But relatives and family, it's definitely harder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Next.
Hey guys, I need to know, am I the asshole? It's a bit long, but please bear with me. Okay, so background. Had my bachelorette 6 days before my wedding. Had a falling out with my maid of honor. My group of bridesmaids are all childhood friends, so we are pretty close and involved with each other. There are no secrets. Maid of honor is a spiritual or positive yogi, and she's dating a party animal. And this is important because I'm an introvert and it's a lot for me to keep up. So the maid of honor brought her girlfriend to my bachelorette. We're not close yet as they're pretty new, but I was okay as I thought we could use the event to know her girlfriend better. However, they ended up spending most of the night making out and flirting, saying hi to other friends they saw, and one of my bridesmaids, ex, noticed this and called maid of honor out on it. To be honest, by 10 p.m, I was already quite sad and stayed the night because I appreciated everyone's efforts. Later on, I did ask two of the bridesmaids, X and Y, to speak to maid of honor about it because I was afraid I'd be too emotional, and like I said, we are all each other's best friends. X and Y had their own approaches, which I didn't know about, and maid of honor complained to Y about how X spoke to her. Anyway, maid of honor told her girlfriend too about how I felt about her and girlfriend, and said she needed time and space away from me and that she didn't like me. So this is the maid of honor's girlfriend said she didn't like the OP.
Mm-hmm.
But fine, whatever. In the end, maid of honor and I did have our heart-to-heart, and it was very sincere and emotional, and we resolved our issue. The wedding happened and it was all good with maid of honor. But back in the hotel, bridesmaid Z told me that maid of honor told her that she wanted space from me. Why not tell me directly? I don't know. I didn't push her and gave her more space. So 2 weeks later, I was hanging out with maid of honor's sister, and maid of honor was supposed to come as well. Weird, but her sister kept asking me, "Are you sure you want to see her?" Like repeatedly, even when I kept saying yes. It made me feel humiliated, and I took the hint and left. After 1 month plus of silence passed, and on my birthday she told me that our friendship was over because I was immature. She said it was her last message to me, and hence no conversation to be had. So this person's conflict is that the maid of honor is a non-confrontational person. Being her best friend all these years, they usually talk things out and heal and get back together again. We already spoke about things and had weeks to heal, but she still chose to ignore me, and her sister's comments made me feel unwanted, so I feel hurt. Second point is I could have handled it better. Sorry. Second point is I could have handled it better, given she was avoiding me, and many times I thought we were okay, just to hear from someone else that we weren't. And the third point is I realized there's going to be a lot of people involved here. But that's really just the nature of our group of friends. We all deal with our issues together, and this isn't any different. So, am I the asshole? Are you following the story?
Yes, I am. But the thing is, I didn't know why she had to ask, like, am I the asshole? Because it didn't sound like she did anything wrong. No?
Yeah. You
I feel like the problems came to her, not she caused the problem.
So you think the maid of honor here is at fault?
Yeah, she didn't even confront them on her bachelorette party.
I feel like, okay, first mistake, okay, it's important events, right? Like this type of bachelorette party. Don't ever invite people that you don't know. That's the first mistake already. Just don't do it. You can have lunch, dinner, and supper, tea, or whatever any other time in your life. Just not on your bachelorette party. Because you always...
You're very close friends, man.
Yeah, no, I mean still, like even if that's my point. You're very close friends. You just want to celebrate your special time with your close friends. You don't, every time, right, you have people come into, new people join like your social circle, it tends to change, right? You cannot just be talking about like if I meet my secondary school friends and let's say you come along, I cannot just be talking about what happened in secondary school or the things that I used to talk to them about, but it definitely has to change to accommodate the new person. So I'm just saying that if it's a special event like this, just keep it close. And I feel like the maid of honor should understand that and respect if the OP... To be honest, I feel like it's already a bit uncomfortable that you ask someone to join, honestly. I feel like unless they say like, oh, you can bring, or like unless it's like a normal event, like just meeting up for dinner, then you want to bring, that's fine. But I don't know, I would never like ask like, oh, can I bring my friend or like bring my boyfriend along. I think that's quite weird. And another thing is, I feel like the maid of honor, you're here for this, you're the bride's bachelorette party. You're not here to celebrate your relationship. You're not here to make up. And I don't understand why people... Okay lah, I guess I'm just a very anti-PDA person. But I can never understand how people are comfortable making out in front of their friends. Like, if you want to do that, just don't. Why?
Mm-hmm. No, it's just... I feel like it's the maid of honor and her girlfriend's problem. No,
Yeah.
as in their relationship is fishy.
Why?
I don't know. Okay, I have a very bad impression, right? Whenever relationships become like, I don't like this friend, you shouldn't hang out with her, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other person actually gets like brainwashed into agreeing, and then they totally change, like the personality totally change. So I feel like that really her relationship is very fishy.
Sounds like the girlfriend is a bit controlling.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, but she's not an asshole lah.
Yeah.
Like I don't see anything wrong.
I think a lot of people, when they post "Am I the asshole?" they don't actually think that they are the asshole. They are asking for support. They want people to tell them, "No, you are not the asshole."
Okay. Okay, next. Oh, I think it's similar to the mum one, the mum and the church wedding one. Okay, my uncle kept demanding that God doesn't recognize my marriage because it wasn't done in a Catholic church, a former bride shared. The previously established facts that they had different religious views came to a head at the least appropriate time ever. that my husband and I will never last because he will probably cheat on me in a few years when things inevitably become stale. Wait, the thing is like it's different. Okay, slightly different from the mom. Like it seems that the uncle thinks that because it's not in a Catholic church, the husband will cheat on her.
Yeah.
It sounds like that was his reasoning.
I don't even know what to say. His uncle, this.
Okay, what would be your reaction if someone told you that?
My reaction if someone told me that, right, would just be to like, I would honestly say if this is my relative, right, I would tell them, I don't think you should be at my wedding. And don't come. That's all. I wouldn't just invite them. I mean, you know, if they're saying such hurtful things, right, I don't believe that just because they're your family, they're your relatives, that they must be there. And
my reaction would just be, okay, thank you. It's something too illogical and stupid for me to get angry about.
I wouldn't, you know, but I mean, like, if you say that and then they, you know, I'm these type of people, right, I'm very afraid that they will go and cause a ruckus. That's what I meant. That's what I am afraid of.
Okay.
So that's why I would say don't come. And I would tell this story, like a funny story, to my friends afterwards. Because some things that are so ridiculous, right? You're right, like, you don't get angry over it. You just start to like, you hear it and then you're like,
cool story.
Yeah, cool story. And then after a friend asks you what you did, then it's like, you're just not there.
Okay.
Why do people say this type of... I don't know where people find the courage to say this type of very inappropriate stuff. Okay. This one. Insensitive in-laws. How do I get over their treatment of me? My fiancé and I were at his grandparents' place last week. We were having a conversation with his grandma and his aunt about our October wedding. I.e. who to invite, which table do they sit at, and etc. His aunt then proceeded to mention about her own daughter's wedding. She started asking my fiancé about auspicious dates and mentioned that she initially also wanted to choose the same date as us for her daughter's, but we announced first, so she had to go through the trouble again to find another auspicious date for her daughter. Then she started saying that weddings are such a waste of money and that some couples will still get divorced after extravagant weddings. My wedding is still considered a close family and close friends only wedding following 100 pax as per pre-COVID regulations. I don't understand what this means. Isn't it should be like following COVID? Okay, but whatever. The aunt kept... Oh, okay, this is... The aunt kept saying negative things like divorce, and it was really not pleasant to hear these things before our wedding. In addition, my fiancé's grandma started saying sian lah and agreed with aunt. At one point, my fiancé also agreed, saying, yeah, waste money. Also not I wonder. So note, my fiancé and I agreed on having a small wedding for close family and friends, but him agreeing to his aunt and grandma just made it seem like I or my family forced him into having the wedding. Plus, both of us agreed to split the cost. We will split the cost of the wedding ceremony. I will pay for my own gown and photography, and he will settle the quarterly items. I've already paid for the deposit of the wedding venue, which is about 5k. His aunt started mentioning that she only wants her daughter to ROM and then have a small high tea wedding within family and maybe some friends, which is no different from what my fiancé and I are doing. Then why in the world are you trying to instill negativity to my wedding by being so negative about weddings? I was confused and angry. I could only smile and nod. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't say anything as they are the elders. I couldn't cry. I have to hold my tears. I felt so attacked. I just felt that his aunt is really insensitive. Throughout the conversation, I was very uncomfortable. I was doubting my decision to marry into his family. I also felt that I did not get his aunt's and grandma's blessing, and it sucks. I didn't even say a word during the conversation because I was so speechless. It's been a week and I'm still quite affected. I did talk to my fiancé about the incident, but he got defensive over his aunt and said that she is just like that, very direct, etc. I really don't know how to get over this. run.
No, the thing is that if it was his mum, right, and then he got defensive, right, I still can see why. It's just his aunt.
No, there's so many problems with there's a lot of problems with this. Okay, I feel like the first thing, right, like what the OP mentioned when he said this, yeah, waste money. Also, not I want the like. What do you mean it's not you want? You don't want to have a wedding or you don't want to get married? Like what is it that you don't want? And just saying that sentence, right, it's like if you know it make you feel like is it I'm forcing you to do something that you don't want? Is it really to you just a waste of money?
No, the thing is he agreed on it.
Yeah, that's why he said yeah, waste money. Also not I want. Why must you say also not I want? It's your wedding also. What do you mean also not you want? I
don't marry him.
I hate it when people say such things like.
You disagree, you should say it at the start.
Yeah, if you didn't want to
don't get unhappy later.
And the thing is, right, this is you're with your family members and then your fiance is there with you and like, can you at least try and defend your fiance or something? Why are you saying these type of things and then still agree? Oh yeah, not I want. You're basically insinuating that is the bride that you know is she wants, so I bo pian, then I have to go to. I fucking hate it when people say such things. Like, it's not true. Okay, I
hope the aunt said the same thing to her daughter as well about the divorce and everything.
This one I feel I don't know lah. There are just a lot of men out there. They're just not worth marrying. They're really just not worth marrying. Just if he got so defensive, just look at him and say, you know what? If you don't want the wedding, we don't need to have the wedding, okay? Since you don't want it, not you want, it's okay. We don't do.
So much she paid the deposit. She paid like half of the stuff and even the deposit.
5K. You know what I would...
That's a lot of money.
You know... Yeah, okay, divorce is more expensive.
Yes.
Living a lifetime of unhappiness, there's no amount of money, okay? There's no amount of money in this world that can cover living unhappily, okay? So, what I would suggest to the OP is, right, you throw that man in the dustbin.
8 May.
Yeah. October wedding probably this month. We'll see if there's an update whether it happened already.
No, I feel like the aunt is the bigger problem. His family in general.
I think when it comes to marriage, right, sometimes you cannot choose your husband's family. You only can choose your husband. So, what I would say about this situation when you cannot choose your husband's family, right, unfortunately, is that
don't choose them at all.
It's either you get rid of the husband as well, or just cut them off.
I feel like if the husband was on her side, right, it makes things
I mean, easier. If your husband, this depends on the husband. If the husband is on your side, then just cut them off. Don't meet them. Then that's the end of the story already. You don't have to get upset. You don't have to see them. They can say all kinds of shit, and then you're just like. But in this particular case, obviously, this guy. That's why I read all this. Right? Just like it's this guy. He just can't get it together. And if he doesn't think that, and if he's already throwing such shade at this stage, right? He's gonna throw more shade at you later. So just leave him alone, okay? And he doesn't want to have a wedding.
You have a kid, right? He doesn't want a kid. Then you say you want.
Yeah.
Then the kid give you a problem. Then he will like, is you want or not? You chose this.
I feel like this type of men, they will say such thing. They will say like, oh, why you send him to this school? Why you send your kid to this school? Oh, no, I wonder. It's my wife. My wife want this particular place. Everything, everything. Don't take responsibility for anything, right? It's like always, must push the blame. It's my wife want.
I want to say something, but I forgot. I really admire her for being able to smile and nod and hold back her tears, cause I can't. I feel like it will be on my face.
I agree. I will have cried also on the spot.
No, I feel like I would have made a scene. I would have like lost it.
I would have said something very sharp.
Not sharp. I would say something very rude.
And then I would just be like, this not your wedding. This is none of your business. This is not your wedding.
Okay, the calmest thing that I can think that I will do, right, is that I will leave. The second most calmest thing that comes to my mind is that I'll tell her to STF you.
I can't wait one day when you meet your in-laws. I'm so excited to hear your stories.
You know, my other friends were like, what if one day your mother-in-law asks you to do something that she can do, she just wants you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, do I look like the type that will let my mother-in-law do this to me? Then she was like, oh yeah, you look like the type that your mother-in-law will be afraid of you.
I mean, it's a good thing lah. You know, not that
I won't
she's
handle
afraid of
any
you.
nonsense.
It's not that she's afraid of you.
She won't like
respect
test
you.
my patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won't test my patience.
That's very important. Like, you're also a human being. You're somebody's daughter. Don't be a shit human. Just don't. If you need anything done that you cannot do yourself, ask your son to do it. Okay, ask your own child to do it. Don't ask your child's spouse. Okay, if you are sitting on the couch and you really, really, really want a cup of tea, don't ask your daughter-in-law or your son-in-law to make it. Ask your own son or your own daughter who is also there. Even if they're upstairs, you call them on the phone. You say, "Come down, I want a cup of tea." Don't ask your in-laws to do it.
It remind me of like this not TikTok, like some videos I saw on somewhere, like they say like, oh, the mother-in-law is coming, then they faster like clean up the house and everything. Have you seen such videos before?
Yeah. The China advertisements one, right? They advertising the product.
Yeah, correct. I mean, okay, I'll make sure my house is presentable, but I wouldn't be like in fear, you know.
Do you see that the end of this video is always the mother-in-law sitting in a chair, then the wife down there doing her feet or massaging her legs or whatever. Yeah. Actually, last time when I was in my counselling class, right, there are a lot of, at that time, I mean, there are a lot of married people who attended the counselling class, and a lot of them, they get so bullied by their mother-in-laws. Like, for example, right, one case, directly from my classmate was, her mother-in-law don't let her sit on a chair. So when everybody is sitting in the living room, she will sit on the floor. Like, she will just sit
in her own house.
No, in her mother-in-law's house. Okay, actually, I think
she's living with the mother-in-law.
I think she's living in the mother-in-law, so she's not allowed to sit on the chair. And
that's so sad.
I did ask her, okay, why didn't your husband say anything about it? And she said it's like because the husband got a seat on the sofa. So I said, like, why can't you just ask your husband to give up his seat for you? And she said it's because his mother won't allow. And I was like, why the fuck do you even marry this man? Like, I mean, I didn't say it out loud, but like, I just really cannot understand this particular mother-in-law. Why do you want to make your daughter-in-law, whom you're living with, right, make her hate you so much? A lot of these.
Does she hate her mother-in-law? Or she's okay with this?
She said eventually, right, because she tries so hard to make her mother-in-law like her, eventually her mother-in-law start to like her, and so they have an okay relationship now.
So does she get to sit on the sofa?
Yeah, now she get to sit on a chair. But I mean, no, but she
so
was
sad.
No, yeah, but she was just precisely saying that it was a very long process to make her mother-in-law like her, to make her mother-in-law, you know, trust her or whatever. I don't know what fucking bullshit, but anyway, the thing is, a lot of people, right, don't have this type of patience, and rightfully so. I will never have this type of patience. So, you know, a lot of times, right, when, you know, like in-laws, they get old, they get sick, a lot of times their daughter-in-law is the one looking after them.
No, I don't know what is their rationale, like when they want to be mean to a daughter-in-law. Cause for me, right, let's say I have a son and daughter-in-law, right, I wouldn't go out of the way to make her life difficult, because when after I die, right, she'll be the one taking care of my son and my grandkids, you know. So like even if you don't like her, you don't have to be mean to her, cause she will be taking care of your son.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even if you think of it in a very selfish way, it's like a lot of times when you are old and you are sick, your let's say your son and your daughter-in-law will be the one taking care of you. So why do you want to make it in such a way that she just wants to dump you in the dustbin? Like, you know, I don't know. So I just really don't understand the logic. Well, there are a lot of crazy people out there. There are a lot of crazy people out there. If my husband sit on the sofa while I'm sitting on the floor, I tell you, I wouldn't just divorce him. I would have poisoned him. I would have poisoned him.
I wouldn't sit on the floor in the first. I won't even think of it. I won't even think that maybe I should just sit on the floor to like so that nobody will get angry. Yeah, like no. You sit on the floor.
You just walk straight out the door. You'd be
Yeah,
like, no.
Okay,
I will walk straight to the lawyer's office, okay?
Have I told you this before? Like, I will have a runaway bag. I won't keep it at home. I'll keep it somewhere.
With your parents?
I'll have like, no, somewhere. I cannot tell you. Only I will know where is it. But it will have like money, my passport, and a prepaid phone. So I'm ready to run. Oh, and a set of like clothes. So yeah, I'm ready to run.
Okay.
So if this happens to me, I will use my runaway bag.
Why you cannot tell me? I'm not going to take your runaway bag away.
I don't know. Maybe you'll be in like good terms with my mother-in-law. Or something.
That's a very strange thing to happen, that I'm suddenly on good terms with your mother-in-law. But okay. Next.
Yep. Oh, this is a little bit funny. An aunt brought a piñata in the how do you pronounce it?
Piñata.
In the shape of a woman, so the groom could have something to pop that night since my sister wasn't a virgin. Okay, because she had a child from her first marriage. So my cousin and I took care of it, and it never made its way to the reception. Thank goodness. I don't think it's funny. I feel for me. If I'm that bride, right, I wouldn't be offended. I think I will laugh. Like, I'll have fun with the thing.
Actually, I also won't be offended. Yeah, I wouldn't be offended.
It's just funny. No, but
I feel these are things,
that
right?
the aunt can think of that, you know.
I feel like if someone did that to me and we have like good relationship, like in good fun, right, I won't be offended. I'll just be like, oh yeah, haha, then just do it. I really won't be offended also. I think the only thing is if they're doing it to, if they are purposely doing it to insult, or like, you know, they're from very religious background, then you do it in front of everybody, it's a very embarrassing thing, man.
But she didn't break any like religious laws. She had a child from her first marriage.
I don't know. That's why I would. I don't know. I agree. I wouldn't be offended. I would laugh about it. Yeah, I would laugh about it. Honestly, I'll be like, that sounds like. I'll just be like, oh, that's kind of a good idea. We should do that. Yeah.
Okay,
this one.
Next.
My friend sent me a wedding invitation via postage. He knows where I stay, so he just posted the invite to me without informing beforehand. I had plans on the day, so I texted him congrats, but I have something on that day, will not be able to make it. He replied thanks. And then after chit-chatting for a while, he ended the conversation with, so you will pay now me your ang pao, yeah? I am not very sure about this. Is it receive invitation already must give ang pao, even when you're not attending? No. Crazy. I feel like the skin on these people are so thick. You know, I cannot understand, right? When people...
Will you say no?
Of course.
If they ask you that question in front of your face.
I will say no. Why would I give? If you, I tell you, okay, I tell you. I feel right, sometimes when people are bold enough to make this type, thick skin enough to make this type of request, I will also be very thick skin enough to reject them. I won't even feel 不好意思. I will just be like, if you don't feel 不好意思 asking me, I will feel 不好, I won't even feel 不好意思 to ask you. I'll just be like, no.
I would just say no
And some more, this is over a text. Just don't reply.
Oh yeah.
I don't get it. I think okay, ang pao, right? This the problem with ang pao. Okay, ang pao, right? It used to be like a blessing for the wedding couple, the couple, right? Like, you know, like to start your new life or whatever. But nowadays, people use it. I don't know whether this is all around in Chinese culture all around the world, but at least in Singapore, people use it as a way to cover their wedding banquet meal. And the bride and groom expect that the ang pao money can cover their extravagant wedding. And I just cannot understand why this whole system is in place. Because I honestly think that your ang pao money, right, it really should come from what you want to bless the couple with. The closer you are to the couple, the more money you give. That's normal. But like, as the bride and groom, don't you feel very shameless expecting so much ang pao money because you want to have this extravagant wedding that you cannot afford? Then you're not expecting your guests that you invited to cover for your wedding. You know, sometimes, you know, like you want to have extravagant wedding, right? And then you want to invite, let's say you just want to have, I can understand you get married, you want to invite your friends and family to celebrate this joyous occasion with you. But you want to really make it until that people are considering whether or not they should come because your wedding dinner is so bloody expensive. You know what I mean? If you, let's say you have it in like Capella or something, and then it's maybe almost $300 per head. If you cannot cover...
No, the thing is that some people have it like in a very expensive hotel, but they choose the cheapest menu. I think that will be the one that if I attend the wedding, I'll be like annoyed.
Why will you be annoyed? I won't be annoyed. I'll be okay.
Because if I you will reduce the money, is it? Because if I go to an expensive hotel, I will prepare like a certain amount of money. But if you give me shit food, right?
Sometimes...
I don't know, I will be annoyed. I really will be annoyed.
Okay, cause...
No, I'll be thinking like, why can't you... I'll be thinking like, then why do you have to choose this location if you're going to get the cheapest menu?
I don't feel like that's a problem there. I feel like for me now, right, now that I did look at some venues, if I like how the venue looks in photographs, I would just choose the venue regardless of how the food, like if the food is too expensive, I'll just choose a cheaper menu. Like if I like the venue, I'll just choose it. I think that's the thing. I would say the whole problem is people expecting their friends to cover their wedding cost. So I would just say, right, don't. This is like a Singapore Chinese people society thing, right? Everybody is expecting to cover their wedding costs with other people's ang pao, and so if you don't give a certain amount, it's like stingy. But I don't know. I just feel like if you cannot afford to cover the wedding by yourself and you need to rely on your friends' ang pao money, then just choose a cheaper location. You know what I mean? Ang pao is meant to be like a blessing. It's not meant for you to cover to pay off your extravagant wedding. People are
want to have
stressed.
an extravagant wedding.
Yeah, you want to have an extravagant wedding.
It's a dream.
Pay it off with your own money. That's what I'm saying. Make sure you can pay off with your own money. Don't go into debt getting married. Don't go into the wedding expecting that other people's ang pao money is going to cover you. That's what I mean. So in this conversation, anyway, we are so far out topic. Anyway, this guy, there's just no argument. And don't ever ask people to give you ang pao money, especially if they're not attending. Why should they give you ang pao money? That's wild. I feel like if it's my close friend and I cannot attend their wedding, I would just give them like a token amount. Because like,
yeah,
as a blessing, but not. But if like I'm not close to you, and I tell you, I would, maybe if this is my good friend, right? Like, You know, one of our church friend got married recently. Not recently. So he did invite us before like pandemic ma. He did invite us before the pandemic. So when the pandemic happened, I understand he had to cut. So I mean, we knew he was getting married, so we also gave him like just like blessing lah. You know, it's like money for blessing. Even though
It was a very small amount.
Yeah, it was a very small amount. But if he texted me and asked me right to give him ang pao, I tell you, it would not
So
only
you
be
will pay
zero.
now me ang pao.
I would be like,
No,
you are
nothing.
getting nothing,
Blocked.
and I'm cancelling this friendship as well. Okay, no more. Okay, next.
This is a little bit sad. I had an ectopic pregnancy in which the baby attached to my fallopian tube, which then burst, and I almost bled to death. Well, my friend got engaged shortly after that pregnancy, and when she asked me to be her bridesmaid, she said that I would be required to wait to try and have another baby until after her wedding. Not because there would be a small child at the wedding, and not even because she didn't want me to be fed at her wedding, but because if I lost another child, it would take the attention away from her engagement and wedding. I was so shocked that I declined and haven't spoken to her since. Well done.
Some people really take their wedding way too seriously.
Yeah, some people are a little bit delusional. They feel like the world will stop because of their wedding.
And actually, I don't understand, because if let's say this person, she really did have she did lose another pregnancy, that's her circle of friends that will talk about it. Why would it affect you? Like even if you have the same circle of friends, you can still talk about two things at the same time. What? Why do you need?
It has to be her 100%.
I'm always
so sad. No, I feel like if you don't feel sad for me for losing my baby, and then you still say this kind of thing to me, right? I will really think like, why was I even friends with you in the first place?
Yeah, don't even care. I just. You know, I also heard before people say like don't I read don't get pregnant because you won't look nice in the wedding photographs, or don't get tattoo because you won't look nice in the wedding photographs.
Or like you need to dye your hair because your hair color is different from the rest of my bridesmaids.
Why do you need to have such uniformity in your pictures in the first
So you
place?
can stand out.
I don't understand. I really
So that the bride can stand out. I mean,
some people, they just
there's some people
what?
like it's the same type as this bride one, like so that all the attention will be on her and just her only.
Some people just don't be their friend. Very tiring to be their friend. It's very sickening.
Okay, let's say one day, right, I have a wedding. Then your hair is like pink, and I tell you to dye it back black. How will you feel? I won't do that in real life, but how will you feel?
No, I mean, this kind of thing I wouldn't mind doing.
Right. I feel like if you say it to me, I would just dye it back black or wear a wig.
I think
like some people actually get offended. I mean, I see why, but I wouldn't like
I also can see why. It's just that I can understand if I was your bridesmaid, right, and then you want me to dye don't want me to have unnaturally coloured hair, I can understand why. I wouldn't do it because I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay.
I mean, I
would do it for yours, but okay.
No, I really don't think it's a big deal. I mean, even if you have blonde hair or whatever, I just don't think it's a big deal. But I can understand now. Sometimes, they dye the colours, then on the wedding picture look a bit tacky lah. But, I feel like that's your friend's better to fight. Next time I will just be like, hey, look at your hair last time, damn ugly, that's all.
It's so sad leh, the ectopic pregnancy one.
Yeah. So that's all for our confessions today. Thank you for listening into Jie Podcast. Tell us what you think about all these confessions, whether or stories, what are your thoughts about all this. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.